Today's High Performance Podcast is brought to you by Josh Phegan Digital. It's the only place that you'll find our expansive resource library. Every form, checklist, visual and dialogue that you'll ever need to systemize your business. Available to edit in PDF to rapidly take your business to the next level. Welcome to High Performance, the podcast featuring Josh Phegan and Alexander Phillips. Alexander, this is a really important conversation about dialing in the routine. Now, the funny thing is that, for someone like you know the quality of that routine so well. Yet when you think about others that are trying to build that routine of what's going to make them one of the greats, it's kind of interesting. And I've got the Aura ring on, and it's quite interesting about the psychological stress. My peak psychological stress this year was actually in the midpoint of my holidays. And when I'm back working in my full routine, I've actually got practically no stress at all. Wow. Which means that my body loves it.
I couldn't wear one of those because it'd freak you out. Yeah, like if I wake up, I've only had 90%, 80% sleep.
I need to change that.
Make me more tired. So,
in terms of dialing routine though, like learning what's going to work for you, and you're watching this with your team as they're growing and they're emerging through different stages of their life. What are some really important things to get right about that routine? Is it the time you go to bed, the time that you wake up, what's happening when you're first in the office? Knowing what commitments you've got if you're lucky enough to have kids or you're doing different things in different stages of your life.
Yeah, hi Josh, thanks for having me again. I think the routine base is your foundation on how you're going to work every day in the ebbs and flows and keeping high energy levels and spending the time with the right people, right time. So I think, obviously your routine, everyone's very different on, do they train, do they not, how do they sleep, what time do they go to bed. So there's no, I think, right or wrong way. It's sort of probably how your body works a little bit. Like there's a lot of people that go to bed at 11 o'clock at night and get up at 8. I'd feel like I've lost half the day, or they work till late, but maybe that's what they've always done.
Yes.
Like I sort of shifted like 15 years ago and started getting up at 5 o'clock, and now I get up at 4 o'clock and but go to bed at 9 and, clear out anything in the morning. It's interesting. Like even this morning I got up a little bit later. It's Sunday at 5:30 and my brain was really sort of switched on. I thought about a lot of things I'd forgotten about at our open homes yesterday, who I can call and who I can send text messages to, or what I need to do this week to make sure that we're selling 10 properties, and started planning that. So I think the good thing is about like an early morning start is no disruption. So
my dad would call it the golden hour, like that first hour before anyone else is around.
And I like listening to the news in the morning, like just to where the share market is, gold prices, like what's happened globally while I'm like training or whatever it might be. So you're getting a little bit of a touch on what's happening out there as well. And I think you're a lot clearer in the morning, and you can fully I plan my whole day from there. So
I know it sounds funny, but like if you're a newer agent and you don't yet have the market share or the market knowledge, like that ability to study every day what has been listed, what's been sold, what's had a price reduction, and even like walking some of those streets if you're newer to that marketplace is a really important discipline to understand density and what's happening in there, and is there a delinquent house, and is there a new build that's happening in that street. And I know that sounds really funny, but I would be spending almost the first 30 to 45 minutes of my day just learning that, because then when I'm talking to buyers or talking to sellers, at least I can actually be talking about something that's happening in the market.
Like even like where I live now in Vaucluse, it's not our prime market, but we're starting to do a lot more sales in there, and I went for a run around there this morning. I'm looking at what building companies people are using. What street names, and like I'm probably as well versed now as like the agents that sell the most there, because I've walked the streets, I see who lives there, the type of people, what properties are selling for. But going on to that routine, like I remember I used to get up at 5 or 6 o'clock 20 years ago and have the Sydney Morning Herald and mark up like the for sale by owners and expired listings, and go through like page by page in suburb by suburb, where now like you've got apps that do that for you. Propping, which is an app we use that tells you price reductions, what's come off the market. Like if you're wanting to have a good routine and starting out, that's like a great place to start, in Domain and REA, and just go to the bottom of the page and find out who's been on the market forever and go chase them down.
And I think this whole conversation about like the routines are really designed to go and set you free. And like we say Monday, were there any good buyers? Like you had an amazing auction on the weekend. If there were 2 or 3 underbidders on that particular property, and I think that one sold for circa 10 million, then can we go and find another $10 million house for those
2 underbidders to go and buy. Okay, great. Then on Tuesdays, let's read through all of our sellers that we've met with. Is there anyone we can progress to market today about a new listing or something that's happening in their area that might encourage them to do something before Easter? Or maybe on a Wednesday, let's review our current listings, make sure they're on track. Friday, have a quick look at the numbers and just make sure the team's adjusting. So if we need more listings or we need more sales or more appraisals or more listings, that then you can go to do that. And routine really does set you free. And if you document it, you're more likely to go and do it.